Hello, Pastor. I appreciate you giving me a few minutes of your day. My name is Jim Braceland. I am the Director of Outreach Ministries for Silent Word Ministries. My wife Terry and I have been in deaf ministry for over 30 years and have been with Silent Word Ministries since 1999. And I first of all want to start by thanking you for having a vision enough to have a deaf ministry in your church. But I'm aware that even though you have a deaf ministry, it doesn't mean you understand all of what's happening. So if you don't mind, I'll take just a couple of minutes to help you to maybe understand that ministry a little bit better and encourage you in some ways that you could improve that ministry. So let me give you a few things that could be helpful to you. Number one, I think it would be important for you to learn just a few signs. Now, don't panic. I don't think you should be the interpreter, and I don't think you should learn enough signs to be able to interpret. But to learn the sign for good morning, we're happy you're here, I love you, those kind of things really go a long way with deaf people. In our home church, that's what our pastor does, and every time he comes by, he messes up sometimes, but our deaf love the fact that he's trying to communicate with them, and they know that's my pastor. And that would help you as well. The second thing is to let your church know that you're committed to the deaf ministry. Mention the deaf once in a while in your messages or even in announcements, or feature their ministry one Sunday of a year or whatever. But let your church know that your heart is with the deaf ministry and you have a burden for that ministry. I hope that you would understand that a deaf ministry is very much like a missionary outreach of your church. It's like you reaching into your Jerusalem to reach a different people group, a different ethnic group that has a different language and culture. That's exactly what you're doing when you have a deaf ministry. And so seeing it in that light will help you, I think, to know what you can expect from the deaf. Many deaf have never been churched other than the time that they've come to your ministry. And so it's important to see them that way. One of the things that if I were you, I would try to do all the time is encourage more people to get involved. Deaf ministry is very demanding. Yes, they're a minority, but the needs they bring to your ministry are many. And so you need a lot of folks to be able to help, even to become friends to the deaf, to help out with smaller parts of the ministry, to maybe interpret a song or two. Not everybody is going to be able to interpret a message. So it's good to have a lot of workers. One of the keys to helping your deaf workers that you presently have that you could do is try to get them some things in advance, whether that means giving them your outline of your message in advance so they have a chance to look at the scriptures ahead of time. That will help them to prepare themselves to sign accurately and to stay with you as you go through that message. Having the music a week ahead of time or as much in advance as possible is also very beneficial. Anything you can do like that will be a blessing to them. Encouraging them to go to meetings that will offer a benefit to them in improving their skills in sign language and understanding deaf culture and being able to know how to teach the deaf. Those things are all very helpful. Pastor, one thing I would let you know about is that deaf people have a separate culture than hearing people. It sounds strange because they live here in America and we think, well, they're Americans, which they are, but they have a whole separate culture. And your deaf workers are trying to bridge that gap between the hearing world and the deaf world. And in order to do that, it takes some help. They need some help. And so let them get to places where they can be trained and get more training even as they go along. I guess the last thing I would say to you, again, I want to go back to what I said in the beginning. Thank you so much for having a heart for deaf people. So many ministries don't. We're grateful yours does. I would just ask you to pray for your deaf. Pray for your deaf workers. Let them know you appreciate them. I will tell you, as a deaf worker, there are many times that you interpret a message and you give all you have and you're drained. You know how you're drained when you're done a message. The interpreter is not going to be any different than you. They've given their heart, soul, mind, body, everything to conveying the truths that you have given so well to hearing people. They're doing that for deaf people. And just a attaboy or I appreciate you goes a long way. And so I would encourage you. I want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Silent Word Ministries is fully behind your ministry and we want to help in any way we can. But we thank you again. And I hope this has been an encouragement to you. If you have questions, I'll put a tail end on this video with my email, my phone number. Please don't hesitate to give me a call. I would be happy to help you with anything we can. Thank you again, and God bless you for having a heart for deaf people.